Starmen. Hello, guys.
Hello.
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 How are you?
We're extremely
doing fine,
good.
but it's very snowy in Sweden and it's cold as
Yes.
well. So I don't really like it.
What do you mean? How can you be in Sweden and not like the snow?
That's a very good question, I think. Very good.
Dear, I think, very British topic, the weather. Excuse me. Yeah, I think we're due some snow next week. Maybe.
Enjoy.
Yeah, it may be about a quarter of an inch thick, about this thick, and last about 3 hours.
Have fun, mate.
the whole planet will come to a standstill because of this. Okay, well, let's crack on. Starmen.
Yeah.
Hello, it's Starmenized. You just released an album a couple of months ago. Absolutely brilliant. Well, just tell me about yourselves first of all. I mean, where did you come from? I know it's Sweden. We've established that fact, but
the snow.
Yeah, and the snow. But tell me how the band came to be.
Well, I thought in the beginning I had an idea of kind of celebrating all the icons of rock and write similar kind of music. And after a while, when we got very good feedback on our music, we kind of carved our own identity to the music. And I had this idea about like superheroes rather than cool cats in skin jackets and sunglasses like everybody else.
Yeah,
that was the main thing from the beginning.
Okay. And you managed to find 3 other chaps to go along with you on this idea.
Yeah, that's quite an ja, vad skulle det kalla det för? Bedrift, vad heter bedrift?
Afford, I think.
Yeah. Achievement.
Yeah, achievement. Yeah.
Achievement. Yeah. So actually, introduce yourselves. I mean, let's go with the man who's nothing but numbers and symbols on his Zoom here on the top corner. Who was just speaking?
71 KRHE13. I'm Christian Hermansson, and I have been playing music for all my life.
Yeah.
And play all kind of music, pop, rock, not reggae actually, but most kind of music.
Okay.
And yeah, I pass it through.
Okay. What about Jonathan? Is that right?
Yes.
Jonathan?
Yeah, that's right. I'm Gold Starman, bass player in Starman, and I started playing guitar in the 80s, and then in 2016 I joined a band called Narnia. They asked if I want to be their bass player, so I said yes, and I stopped playing guitar and started playing bass.
Right.
And so yeah, I like it, and I'm mostly I like all kinds of music, but I'm only playing metal and hard rock at the moment.
You like the 80s rock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Yes.
Yes. Okay. What about this fine chap down here, John? How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I am the Silver Starman, and I've been playing drums since I was 6 years old. I've studied music for 3 years and done some freelancing. And quite recently, because of Corona, I graduated from university as a computer scientist to have somewhat of a solid ground to stand on when the cultural scene was on lockdown. And I play all kinds of music with other groups, but I love playing rock, and that's why I'm in Starmen.
Brilliant. The best to last, shall we say, Andreas? Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm flattered. Hello. I'm Mr. Purple. Yeah, I played the guitar in Starmen, and I started off as a drummer actually when I was very young, like 2 or 3 years old, something like that. And then when I think I was around 11 or 12, I wanted to play guitar instead because I didn't think that there were so much great guitar players around.
Wow.
No, my father could have been a part of that, because he told me, you will never be as good as that one and that one and that one, and I was like, okay, challenge accepted. Yeah, so and since then I've been playing with mostly older musicians, because I developed quite fast without sounding, I learned my stuff very early.
Mhm.
But not only hard rock, I've been playing a lot with a famous Swedish choir, mass choir,
Right.
and worked with a lot of Sweden's most loved musicians. But I love to play anything, but the heroes is from the 70s mostly and 80s, but
And you
I
look,
can love listening to E-Type. So yeah.
and you look like a choir boy as well.
Yes, I do.
Are we looking at the same picture? Sorry about this. I just have to check. Yes, yeah, I can see it. Just anyway, moving on. That's me failing at a joke. Tell me about Starmenized then. Tell me about the album. It's been out a couple of months. People can now stream it and buy the physical CD, obviously. So when did the conception for Starmenized come about?
Ooh.
Jonathan, go ahead.
Oof. Christian, you started, but well, I think it was during the Corona season. We started with, I think it was our label manager, Christian Lidegren, who told Christian Hermansson to write a song called Starmenized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing that started it. I started with the cover art, and Christian started to write 30 songs, something like that. And then me and Andreas wrote a song, I wrote a song, and then we tried to pick the best ones for this album.
It was quite early. I remember before we released, we worked quite a longer time to build up a good bank with material.
Yeah.
So my memory tells me that we wrote that song together. It was during the COVID. I don't remember. I'll shut up now.
We had the time. We had the time to write a lot of material this time because of the Corona, and that was great to choose from to make a real solid album at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it is a solid album. I mean, 10 really, really good tracks. I'm struggling to find, I've got them listed here to the left of me. I'm struggling to find a favorite because they're all pretty good. I can't say one's better than the other because they're all really good. I like Rockstar, obviously, for its obvious reasons, and Starmenized as well. So, I mean, if you were to pick one song each, say, from the album, which
Tears
song would
never
you...
dry. Tears never dry. Tears never dry. Tears never dry.
Okay, why?
Okay. I have to check which songs.
Sorry?
Yeah.
I think it's a complete song.
I would say Liar, not because I'm a typical fast rocker guy, but it's the first fast rocker that we spit it out, and I really liked it. But I love everything, and Christian writes like a majority of the songs, and he's like an idol of mine because he is such a great songwriter, and he can write 10 great songs during the same time it takes for me to write like a half.
That's true.
Yeah. So I admire that about him. He's a really, really good and like hardworking songwriter.
Okay, John, what about you?
Yeah, I would go for Liar as well, because in the beginning of that song, in the process of making it, the feeling was quite different. So it was on the brink of not making it to the album, but we got to work on it, and then I think the feeling went kind of more harder than the initial version. So by like trading thoughts and all that feedback, we ended up with Liar that I really, as Andreas said, it's a hard rocking song. So, and also I play the double pedal, so I like to do that as well.
Such a good double bass player.
Yeah.
Okay, Jonathan, what about you?
Yeah, it's hard for me to pick, but I think I like the concept with the song Starmenized, when all the four of us are singing. I think that's a cool thing. We did it on By the Grace of Rock and Roll, the previous album. And I think that's a thing that I really like it, when we all sing and take part behind the mic. And I also think Radioactive is a really good song. Christian came up with it, just weeks before we were going to release the album almost. I got another song, and it was really great. I don't think Andreas ever heard it before we recorded the video for it.
I need to guess my way through, but I know Christian, so it looks like I know it.
Is that good or bad?
It's very good, because that's the fine part, because I've always been very particular with getting you and the band what the band wants and need. That was my first, when I first started working together, only you and I, when I was just a session guitarist actually. And then I was like, okay, because the nice part with this band is that we all came from different, like, we have some similar like bands that we love, but also a lot of different inspirations. And so, and when we put it together, it get this amazing like Starman feeling to it. I really like that, because like me and Christian, for example, we love the old like Whitesnake and the Purple stuff, and then we have Jonathan, who's more into the 80s like classic like Dokken sound, or what you want to call it. So yeah, it's a really nice mix.
Yeah. I've got to say that there's a certain era of the 70s music which you seem to have captured with the Starman sound, and it seems to have been lost by a lot of other bands, and it's really fresh and great to hear this come back around and be created new, shall we say, and given a breath of fresh air. It's from, I suppose I'm struggling here to find the right words. It sounds very, very retrospective, but it also sounds very modern at the same time. Was that purposely written that way, or purposely mastered and recorded that way, or is it? Yeah, I know the sound was there, but the modern tinge to it. I mean, was that just natural?
It's very hard to answer that question. I don't think that we aim to sound like certain things more than that we like music from the 70s and the 80s. It just happens, I think.
Just the magic in the studio.
Yeah. I think what we capture is the pure love for the music, because many bands try to do something play music for other reasons without, bashing, so to speak. But I think we are just love to play this music, and it comes together, and that's just what it is. It's completely in pure love for the music. If I can speak for myself, but I think the other guys agree with me.
Yeah, I do agree.
Okay. So what's next for Starmen then? Now the album's out, everybody's listening to it. Touring, I suppose, would be the next step. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that coming?
That is a tricky question, because we live very far apart. John lives in the north of Sweden. So when he comes back in the Stockholm area, we can start the rehearsal. So it's up to you, John.
It's up to me.
But we tried a little just to see what we had, and it sounded really good. I must say, I was shocked about the result, because sometimes you need to put down so much time, and you can really tell that the other guys are very good, very professional, because we knew our shit. It was really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to the album, you've got streaming figures, I assume, from various sources. Has there been any of the tracks that surprised you that have been streamed and been more popular than the others than you thought?
Oh. I have to check.
Sorry about that.
I guess when the album was out, you thought of a few songs that was like, yeah, these are the ones that were gonna be streamed the most.
Mm.
But I don't believe that was quite accurate from my what I thought, because like I thought Liar would get even more streams than it did, but some oh, I see now that it has updated. But I guess it's never like you imagine, because some people find some things that we who have made the tracks, like maybe we don't catch that as a new listener does.
Well, I don't even know what song from the new album has the most streams then.
I think it's Liar.
It is Liar.
Yeah.
But because I was like, okay, Radioactive is one of the singles and it's a catchy. What is the catchy song title?
Oh no, we lost Andreas.
Oh, no.
We lost
No.
Go back.
In the Snow.
Is that what it is?
No, but I guess sometimes it's more of a, oh, what's this, and then they listen to it, and then the numbers are like getting smaller by the the track list. But I don't know how it works. That's just assumptions.
Yeah, it's difficult for every band at the moment, isn't it? Streaming platforms have made it extremely hard for bands. You put out an album and you sometimes wish that maybe it was an EP, or 2 EPs, so each half of the album had a fair share of streams. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Because like Liar is the first track. Obviously people would listen to that track more than Starmenized, which is the last track, I think.
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay. Is it difficult now? Is it more difficult? I mean, you're all seasoned professionals. Is it more difficult now than it was 6 or 7 years ago to break the streaming market?
Jonathan, you are the label guy.
Yeah, okay. I think actually you get more tools today, and we work with a professional team at Melodic Passion Records and Sun Pollution. And I think we actually should do better now than 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, brilliant. Okay, I'm not going to hold you up too much longer. It's probably pretty cold where you guys are. So is there anything you'd like to say to the people watching, to the people listening, to the fans in general? What would you like to say?
Thank you for having such great taste in music.
Yeah.
We are very thankful for all the fantastic feedback from all over. It's fantastic, really. It's so inspiring to go on to the next chapter.
Yeah, amazing.
Brilliant. Well, guys, Starmenized is out now. I wish you all the very best for the future. Hopefully, you'll come over to the UK and do a couple of shows for us, and we can have a chat in person.
Yeah. And don't forget to get Starmenized.
That's a good.
Of course.
And the other records, because they're all great.
I'm even contemplating getting a tattoo on my arm. Starman.
Oh,
a bit of first as well. So Anyway, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. And
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Stay safe.